Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, this might be one of the wildest internet spirals we've seen all year. Because this entire situation started with a random tweet that most people laughed at and somehow turned into Cenat, the biggest streamer on the planet, announcing he's single, deleting any hope of relationships, and allegedly confronting NBA YoungBoy on live. Think about how insane that sounds. One tweet, no proof, no screenshots, no confirmation. And yet, days later, Kai is online saying he's done with relationships forever, his girlfriend is denying cheating, NBA YoungBoy's name is trending in places it shouldn't be, and the internet is acting like this is a solved crime. But here's the thing, there's no clear villain, there's no confirmed cheating, and yet the tension feels real. So the real question becomes, did something actually happen, or did the internet push this situation into something it was never meant to be? Let's rewind everything, because the deeper you go, the crazier this gets. This entire situation traces back to one tweet from a Twitter account that barely anyone knew. The tweet claimed there were rumors going around that Cenat's girlfriend, Gigi, was cheating on him with NBA YoungBoy, referencing DJ Academics' live stream as the source. Immediately, red flags. No clip, no timestamp, no actual quote from Academics, just a sentence, a couple emojis, and vibes. At first, people treated it like what it was, engagement bait. The account had barely any followers, no reputation, no history of breaking real news, just another Twitter account chasing clout. But then something weird happened. The tweet didn't die. Instead of fading out like most fake rumors do, it started spreading. Quote tweets, reactions, screenshots, people laughing, people speculating, people half believing it just in case. Before anyone realized it, the tweet had millions of views. And that's when the danger starts, because once something reaches that many eyes, logic stops mattering. Initially, most people were actually on Kai's side. People were saying, bro, there's no way Kai's girl is cheating with NBA YoungBoy. Others were like, this is clearly fake. Why would YoungBoy even be involved? And honestly, that reaction made sense. Cenat isn't some random influencer. He's one of the most visible, successful, and watched creators in the world. His relationship was public. His fan base is massive. Any real cheating scandal would have left digital footprints. So for a while, this just felt like internet nonsense, until Kai himself spoke. A couple days after the tweet goes viral, Kai posts something that instantly changes the temperature. I'm single. I will never be in another relationship again. That's it. No explanation, no addressing the rumor, no clarification. But timing is everything, because now the tweet doesn't look random anymore, it looks prophetic. People immediately start saying, nah, he wouldn't say that unless something serious happened. Others say, why would he swear off relationships forever over nothing? And this is how speculation turns into belief. Kai didn't confirm cheating, but he didn't deny anything either. And silence is the loudest thing on the internet. This is really where everything shifted. Up until this point, the NBA YoungBoy angle was still floating in that gray area where people were like, yeah, this sounds crazy, but there's no proof. Then this post dropped saying Kai broke up with Gigi after finding out she cheated on him with NBA YoungBoy, referencing Academics. And the problem isn't just what it says, it's how it says it. It's written like a conclusion, not a question. No allegedly, no rumors, just straight up stating it as if it's already confirmed. Once posts like this start circulating, the internet stops thinking critically. People see it, screenshot it, repost it, and now the story has momentum. That's why this post hit over 2 million views so fast. It gave people what they wanted, a simple answer to a complicated situation. And once that happens, it's almost impossible to walk it back. Then comes Gigi's response, and this is where things get tricky. She comes out and says she left Kai, she denies cheating, and she specifically denies ever dealing with NBA YoungBoy. She also accuses Kai of letting a false narrative spread off a fake Twitter post. On paper, this should have ended everything, but in reality, it did the opposite, because by the time she responds, the internet has already decided there's a story here. So instead of calming people down, her statement becomes something people analyze line by line. People start asking why she felt the need to deny that specific name. They compare her tone to Kai's silence. They start debating who's telling the truth. That's why this post exploded past 5 million views, not because it confirmed cheating, but because it added another voice to a story that was already out of control. At that point, the breakup wasn't private anymore. It was a public trial. Then the final piece drops, and this is what really locked people in emotionally. A clip surfaces of Kai on Snapchat looking visibly hurt, with the caption saying his heart was broken. Whether that clip was meant to address cheating specifically or not almost doesn't matter, because the timing was everything. The cheating rumors are already everywhere. Gigi has already denied them, and now people see Kai emotional, clearly not in a good place. To the average viewer, that feels like confirmation. Not logical confirmation, emotional confirmation. That's why this post hit millions of views so quickly. Once people see pain, they stop asking for proof. They connect dots based on feeling, not facts. And from that moment on, the narrative was locked. In people's minds, something serious happened. Kai found out, and he was hurt enough to walk away completely. When you put all three of these posts together, you start to understand why the internet is so convinced something went down. First, a cheating claim is presented as fact. Then, the ex-girlfriend denies it publicly. Then, Kai appears emotionally broken shortly after. Even without receipts, that sequence feels intentional to people watching from the outside. It creates a story arc, and once an arc exists, audiences follow it to a conclusion, whether it's accurate or not. This is also why the Kai confronting NBA YoungBoy on live angle caught fire. Once viewers believe Kai is hurt and angry, any tense moment on stream gets interpreted as confrontation. A pause becomes a signal, a tone shift becomes aggression, a reaction to chat becomes confirmation. That's how perception becomes reality online. Then comes the clip that made everything worse. An older stream clip resurfaces where Gigi describes her dream guy. Tall, light-skinned, fit, makes music, and instantly the internet explodes. People say, that's literally not Kai. Others say, she just described NBA YoungBoy without saying his name. Now, is that fair? Not necessarily. People describe ideal types all the time. Real-life attraction doesn't always match preferences, but optics matter, and in viral moments, optics become truth. That clip alone convinced a lot of people the relationship was shaky from the start. Then comes the lifestyle angle, Christmas gifts, the G-Wagon conversation, the Atlanta penthouse. Now, let's be clear, there is no confirmed proof Kai paid for any of this, but social media fills in blanks aggressively. People start saying, imagine getting a penthouse, a G-Wagon, then leaving right after Christmas. That idea alone made people angry, whether it was true or not. Once money enters a story, emotions skyrocket. Now here's where the title comes from. At some point after all this unfolds, a live stream moment circulates where Kai's energy changes. People swear he sounds tense. His tone feels different. He reacts to chat messages referencing NBA YoungBoy. And suddenly people say, this feels like a confrontation. Not a direct call out, not Kai saying names, but enough tension for viewers to feel something real. And once people feel something, facts stop mattering. NBA YoungBoy is the perfect storm for a rumor like this. Huge artist, controversial past, chaotic relationships, always trending. So when his name gets attached to Cenat, the biggest streamer alive, it sticks. Not because it's proven, but because it feels believable to people. That's dangerous. What makes this hit harder is Kai's recent honesty about mental health. He's talked about self-doubt, pressure, fear of not doing enough. So now people aren't just watching drama, they're worrying. A breakup alone is tough. A breakup tied to cheating rumors is brutal. A breakup under public scrutiny while mentally vulnerable, that's serious. People start watching Kai's circle closely. Subtle posts, emojis, silence. None of it confirms anything, but it suggests something went wrong. And once people believe insiders know something, speculation turns into certainty. Here's the truth. We know Kai is single. We know Gigi denies cheating. We know a rumor went viral. We do not know if cheating happened, if NBA YoungBoy was involved, if Kai confronted anyone directly. Everything else is interpretation. The real story isn't cheating. It's how quickly social media can turn uncertainty into conviction. One tweet, one vague post, millions of assumptions, and suddenly everyone thinks they know what happened. Here's the part a lot of people are missing. This doesn't feel like your usual influencer breakup drama where two people unfollow each other, post a couple cryptic quotes, and move on. The reason this feels heavier is because of who Cenat is in the internet ecosystem. Kai isn't just another creator. He's positioned himself as the good energy guy, the funny guy, the guy who turns everything into a moment. So when someone like Kai suddenly goes silent, posts something final sounding, and emotionally checks out in public, people notice. It feels off-brand. And whenever something feels off-brand online, people assume the reason has to be extreme. That's why people jump straight to cheating. That's why NBA YoungBoy's name stuck. That's why nobody believed this was just a normal breakup. One thing people don't talk about enough is the pressure that comes with being at the top. Kai isn't just famous, he's constantly watched. Every move he makes gets clipped. Every facial expression becomes a meme. Every relationship becomes content, whether he wants it to or not. So when a breakup happens at that level, it doesn't stay personal. It turns into an event. And when that event lines up with a viral rumor, the rumor doesn't need proof anymore. It just needs timing. That's the real danger of fame at this scale. You don't control the narrative anymore. The audience does. Kai's biggest mistake, if you even want to call it a mistake, was staying silent. Not because he owed anyone an explanation, but because silence creates a vacuum, and the internet hates empty space. When Kai didn't deny the cheating rumor, people assumed he couldn't. When he didn't clarify NBA YoungBoy's involvement, people assumed it was sensitive. When he didn't defend Gigi publicly, people assumed he was protecting himself. None of those assumptions might be true, but once they form, they spread faster than facts ever could. Silence doesn't pause the internet, it accelerates it. At this point, there are only a few ways this story can go. Kai could speak directly and shut everything down. Gigi could provide more context. NBA YoungBoy could address the rumors. Or nothing happens. And honestly, silence might be the most likely outcome. But if silence continues, the internet will keep writing its own ending. That's the reality of being this famous in the social media era. This situation shows how dangerous speculation can become when millions of people are watching the same moment unfold in real time. Right now, we don't have all the facts, and pretending we do only makes things worse. What we do know is that something personal became public, and once that happens, there's no undo button. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the internet went too far with this one? Or do you think there's still something we haven't heard yet? This is Rap Brief. I'll catch you in the next one.